Straight all day.
You are now tuned into the show where you learn the discipline to show up day after day to do the work, the confidence to put yourself out there boldly and authentically, and the mental toughness to continue showing up, doing the work, putting yourself out there even when the success you've expected to achieve has yet to be achieved. And on top of all this, you get a huge dose of personal initiative. That is the go-getter energy that moves any one of us, including yourself, to go and make things happen instead of waiting for things to happen. And then we put all this together into a series of frameworks, approaches, insights, strategies, and techniques, all underneath the umbrella of one unifying philosophy that is called work on your game. My name is Baldwin, also known as Dre All Day, and welcome to the show. And today's topic is all action is not created equal. Before we get into what that means and what you should do about it, let me tell everyone I have a daily motivation text message. I send this message out for free every single morning via SMS text straight to your phone. To everybody who's in my text community, if you would like to receive this message, and I guarantee you this message will keep you focused, sharp, and on point, here's what you got to do. Text me right now at the following number. Write this down: 305-384-6894. Every morning when I send that text out, starting tomorrow, since you have just now joined my text community, you will be receiving that daily motivation text. And you can even respond to that text, because every day I take some time to go through some of the replies I get and respond back to people. If you know anyone who's already getting that text, ask them. I guarantee you they have gotten a response from me at one point, or another. So that number's down below in the description. And secondly, the next step in working with me, you listen to this show, you like the show, you know you're ready to take the next step, you know you're ready to put some of these things that I talk about, you really want to implement them, you want to implement them strategically, you want to implement them systematically, you really want to make this work in your life and your business, and you're serious about doing it now, not 5 years from now, not when the sun passes in front of the moon again, but you're ready to actually do something right now. I want you to go to workonyourgameuniversity.com, because there you get access to the next level things you can get from me, which include my coaching program, where you get coached directly by me, where you have someone like me looking at your business, looking at what you're doing, and making sure you're doing it in a way that's going to get you where you want to go, where we have a full game plan, a system to make it work. And you can get access to all my courses you heard me talk about before, like my courses on discipline, confidence, on mental toughness, on building that bulletproof mindset, my leadership skills courses, sales courses, content creation courses, raising your value courses, money making courses, business building courses. All of those are inside the university, all at workonyourgameuniversity.com. Again, workonyourgameuniversity.com. Those links and the number that I just mentioned earlier are all down below in the show notes. Now let's get into the topic today, which is all action is not created equal. This masterclass episode is all about you doing actions that actually work. And when I say work, that's a very subjective term. Working means producing the desired results. Okay? That's the action that I'm talking about. Actions that produce your desired results versus doing stuff that takes time and it's producing something, but the only thing is usually producing is fatigue, or it makes you tired because you're doing a whole lot of work, you're putting out a lot of effort, but it's not actually taking you anywhere. So today we're going to try to get clear and help you get clear on what kind of actions are you taking. Are you taking actions that are getting you where you want to go, or are you just taking action and you can't really tell it's taking you anywhere? Point number one. Topic, once again, all action is not created equal. First of all, in order for you to know what action is what and know which actions are useful, which actions are not, first of all, we got to get clear on what your goals actually are. What are your goals? Where are you trying to go? What is the outcome that you are looking to achieve? As the saying goes, it is hard to score without a goal. You can't play basketball without an actual basket to shoot the ball in. You can't play soccer without the goal to kick the ball into. You can't shoot bow and arrow if you don't have a target to hit. You can't play darts without the target. I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis, whether I'm talking to people in person, whether I'm talking to you digitally, like on a Zoom call, whether I'm on an actual phone, voice call, text messaging, DMs, emails. I talk to a lot of people every day, and most of the time, because of the line of work that I'm in, people are sharing with me what their challenges are, what their goals are, what they're trying to do, and what they think is the delta between where they are and where they want to be. And one of the most common surface level challenges that people have, and just because it's surface level does not mean it doesn't matter, but one of the most common surface level challenges people have, surface level just means it's like first order of business, like can we just take care of this part so we can get to the deeper, more important stuff, is that many people don't have goals. Many people do not have clear goals. Many people do not have clearly stated goals, that if you stop them on the street and ask them, where are you going this year? Where are you trying to go with your business? Where is it now? And where are you trying to take it? I can't even say it's surprising to me. It is a little bit surprising, but the more I see it, the less surprising it becomes. I've become kind of conditioned to it. Become more numb to it. Many people have no idea where they're at, nor where they want to go. Now, a lot of people have vague ideas of where they want to go. You ask them where they want to go and they'll throw out some round number of what they want to achieve. But that number is not based on anything. It's not based on, there's no analysis has been done into this number. I ask somebody how much money you want to make this year. They'll say something like, well, I want to make $250,000. Why do you want to make $250,000? They don't know. They can't tell you why they threw out that number. This is a number that sounds good. It sounds big. It sounds like they had that much money, then everything, all their problems will be taken care of. That's the only reason that they came up with the number. There's no analysis behind it. There's no thought behind it. They don't consider how many customers they would need to do that, how many XYZ of all the inputs that their business requires, how many of those inputs would be required for them to hit that number, and do they actually have the resources to even do that in order to get to that number. Most people have never even thought about this, but you ask them and they'll throw some number out. And I've heard many times, I've heard smaller numbers, I've heard bigger numbers, but usually some round number that is plucked out of the air by many people because they have not sat down and actually thought and put real time into thinking about what they want, where they want to go, why they want it, and what it would actually take to get there. Many people have not done this work. And I am 100% sure that some of you who are listening to me right now, I'm specifically talking about you. I'm talking about a lot of people, but I guarantee just by the law of averages, a bunch of you who are listening to me right now are guilty of this. You have no idea where you're at, where you're going. You couldn't tell me what you did last year, and you can't tell me what you want to do this year and draw a line between last year and this year and tell me logically why that makes sense. Most people can't. And I remember sending out a text in late 2022 asking people, do you want to make more money next year than you made this year? And if so, how much? And then when people answered that question, those who did answer, I will follow up with them and say, okay, well, why, how, what's the plan? And it was very clear to me that most people have no plans. Most people don't even know how to make plans. And most people, even if they did, don't have the discipline to actually sit down and make one. This is a real thing. And I talked about this a few episodes ago here on the show. And I will talk about it again in the future because this is not endemic just to people who are listening to this show or who are in my text community. This is a human nature thing. I'm just pointing it out with what I've seen, but I know this is not just, again, it's not just exclusive to my audience. If you are not clear on what your goals are, then the actions that you're taking cannot be quantified because there is nothing to measure them against. If you don't know where you're going, then it doesn't matter what you do because there's no map. So it doesn't matter what direction you drive because we don't know where we're going. So if you're going north or south, east or west, if we don't know the destination, then we don't know if you're going the right way. There is no right way because there's no goal. The only thing to make something the right way is we got to have a goal to measure it against. So what exactly is your desired outcome? Without a goal, you don't know. So we can't say whether what you're doing is good or bad, whether it's working or not working, whether it's useful or useless, because your goals are unclear. Your goals have to be clear in order for your actions to be measurable. Okay, if you don't have clear goals, then we can't really measure your actions because we don't know, again, what we are measuring it against. How do we know if this is moving us where we want to go or is going backwards if we don't have a goal to shoot at? Now, we can't know if your shot is accurate or not accurate if we don't have a basket for the ball to go into. You get it? Point number 2. Today's topic, once again, is all actions are not created equal. Number 2, are you focusing on your money skills? What is a money skill? Money skills are the things that you do that you are best at and which produce the highest return on investment on your energy. These are the things that you do the best. What are they for you? What are your money skills? And to be clear, your money skills are usually 1 to 3 things at the max. You're a very talented person, you might have 3 money skills. Many people have 2 and some people have 1 money skills. You don't have 5 money skills. Nobody has 5. You don't have 10. You don't have 30. Money skills are skills which you could take out into the open marketplace and you could generate a full-time income from just doing that thing. Those are your highest ROI on energy abilities. 2 or 3 things you could sell in the open marketplace and generate a full-time income from doing. And let me be clear about something. Just because you have had a job doing something does not make that thing a money skill. I worked at McDonald's when I was a senior in high school. That doesn't mean that making hamburgers and french fries is a money skill for me, because first of all, it was not a full-time income, and secondly, I was just a warm body for the job. It's not like I brought any specialized knowledge when it came to burger making or frying to the job. All I did was follow instructions. It wasn't my ability to make fries that got me hired at the job. It was the fact that I could follow instructions and I could work 20 hours a week. That's how I got the job. So if you work somewhere as a job, that does not mean that whatever that job entails is a money skill for you. Could you take your skills out of that job and go make a full-time income doing it in the open marketplace? If the answer is no, then it's not a money skill. Now, let me also be clear about something. Some of you may have zero money skills. That's also possible. It is possible. If you have not yet been in the quote-unquote real world workplace, you may not have any money skills. If you're in high school or college right now, you may have zero money skills, meaning you don't have a single skill that is worth a full-time income in the open marketplace. And that's actually okay, as long as you can acknowledge where you're at. The problem is when people think they have 4 money skills and they have 0. That's when we actually have a problem. That's the real problem. But you gotta know what your money skills are, and that's where you should be focusing your energy. Those are the actions that you should be taking, because those are the highest ROI activities. Does everybody follow what I'm saying here? So these are not things that you wish you were good at, money skills. These are not things you want to be good at. These are things that you have proven yourself to be good at. And let me be clear what I mean when I say proven, meaning you have generated full-time revenue from doing it. If you have not generated full-time revenue from doing X, then X is not a money skill for you until you do it. After you generate a full-time income from it, then it's a money skill. Until then, it ain't a money skill. Okay, these are things you have proven yourself to be good at. So at what jobs have you generated a full-time income that can take care of your food, clothing, and shelter? And again, can you take the skill out of that job and go do that same thing in the open marketplace without a job and make that kind of money? If not, then your money skill may be just following instructions at a job. Hey, that's a money skill. Now, if you can just follow instructions at a job, that means you can work anywhere. You can work at Foot Locker. You can work as the front desk person at a gym. You can work as a clerk at a law office, because at each one of them, you're doing the same thing, following instructions as an employee. So it doesn't really matter what the job is. You're just following instructions. Following instructions is a money skill. Now, everybody's not going to be an entrepreneur. Everybody's not going to be a business owner. All right. Everybody can't be a chief. We need some Indians too. If you get what I'm saying. Is that socially, am I not supposed to say that these days? I said it anyway. Anyway, the whole point is, you have not yet created a full-time income from a specific skill. It is not yet a money skill. You can make it one at some point, but that will probably require you making something into a money skill. Anything that you want to be good at. Actually, now let me take the word probably out of there. I shouldn't have said probably. It will require that you make a financial investment to learn how to market and sell any skill that you want to be a money skill. Because for it to be a money skill, you have to actually be making money. That's why I called it a money skill. That's not a euphemism. You really got to be making money from it. So for you to have a skill that makes you money, you have to invest money. That's how you get good at it. This is why many of you go to college. All right. Last time I checked, college ain't free. Is it? No. So those of you who are in college, or those of you who have college degrees, how much does that college degree cost you? You should know. All right, that's a receipt. that college degree is a receipt. Your college diploma, or is it a diploma they give you, the degree, the paper that they give you that is framed up on your wall or in the wall of your parents' home, that is a receipt. You paid for that. You paid to get that skill. And what skill exactly did you get? For many of you was your ability to follow directions, which again is not useless, but you need to know what skills you actually have and what skills you don't have. All right, so you got to do the work to make a money skill actually worth money. Point number 3. Today's topic, once again, is not all actions are created equal. How are you doing your actions? This matters. Same action done 2 different ways creates 2 different levels of ROI and 2 different levels of value. The energy and focus that you put into what you do plays a big role in what you get out of the thing that you're doing. Remember that focus is a force multiplier. We talked about that in episode 1193. So can we agree that the way someone does something plays a role in whether or not it produces their desired outcome? Can we agree to that? That if you do something one way, you get a certain outcome. You do something a different way, you get a different outcome. The same thing though, the exact same action, but two different types of energies produces different outcomes. I think we agree to that. Of course it does. So if the clouds are full of, I don't know the exact scientific term, but if the clouds need to empty out and it's 60 degrees outside, what do you get? Usually you get rain. But if the clouds are full of whatever's inside of them and it's 20 degrees outside, what do you get? Usually you get snow. So can we agree those are two different outcomes? Yes, we can. But the action is the same, the outcome is different. Now just apply the clouds, just make the clouds into a person, and you can see that there's a difference. A person with a whole lot of energy that is positive, they're happy. A person with a whole lot of energy that's negative, they're angry. All right, two different, same inputs, or same, let's say, same material, same source material is a lot of energy, but it's channeled in different ways. So we get different outcomes, and it is expressed, and it's expressed in different ways. So we can agree that the way our energy goes has plays a big role in what comes out. All right, is that clear? Okay. So I'll talk about this when I talk about the be, do, have principle, which I mention often here on this show. When you change your energy, that's the state that you're in, who you are being, then the results of your actions, of the things that you do, changes, right? Because when you change your energy, you put a different energy into the activity, and when you put a different energy into an activity, it usually does something different than what it did before. So how you do things plays a huge role, not only in the results you get, but also the impression other people have of the actions that you are taking. Usually it plays a role in whether they remember you or not, and it plays a role in whether they will take the actions that you want them to take. Can we agree that a very enthusiastic and clearly believing in their product salesperson probably can get more people to demo the product or sit down and have a sales conversation and probably even buy the product than a salesperson who seems to not really believe in the product, not really care about the job, and isn't really enthusiastic about getting you to buy it or not? I think we can agree that the more enthusiastic salesperson probably makes more sales. Enthusiasm is one of the 17 principles of success as laid out by Napoleon Hill in Think and Grow Rich. Not that enthusiasm is the entire formula, but it is one of the elements of it. Same way that hard work is not the entire formula for success, but it is an element of success. So that enthusiasm does matter. That energy does matter. So if you want people to work with you, you want people to cooperate with you, you want people to remember you, you got to check your energy on a daily basis. Those of you who are front facing in your work, that means those of you who are dealing directly with the consumers of whatever it is that you or your company sells, all right, you have to have a certain level of energy every day when you go out there into the marketplace, because if you don't, it will infect your work in a negative way. Salespeople, front desk people, customer service people, you got to have a right type of energy. And those of you who are business owners and you have people representing your company working on the front lines, you better be checking their energy. You better be making sure that you or someone else is watching those staff members' energy on a daily basis, because if they don't have the right energy, they are forcing money to turn around and walk out the door, and you're not even aware of it. Those staff members are costing you money. They're not making you money, they're costing you money if you're not paying attention. So the way you present yourself or your product or your service plays a huge role in whether or not people buy it, or whether or not they even pay attention to it or even think about buying it. All of that matters. And this is why, as we recap today's class, all action is not created equal. Again, this is about doing actions that work and produce a desired result, not just doing stuff just to say that you did it. Point number one, get clear on your goals. We can't measure the value of your actions if we don't know where your actions are supposed to be taking you. And I talk to way too many people, professionals, people with professional titles, people who are entrepreneurs, people who own their own businesses, who have no idea where they're at. Meaning, if you ask them, where exactly are you at right now? What's going on right now in your business? They couldn't tell you much. They have no metrics. Not that they don't have the metrics. Well, not they couldn't get access to them, let's put it that way, but they don't have them. They don't know them. And where are you going? They can't tell you, other than some vague dream number that they usually just thought up right there on the spot, which again, I've had this happen way too many times for my comfort. And this is why I tell people to come join Work on Your Game University, so we can get clear on some things, because there are some people who have plenty of potential, but the discipline is not there. And when discipline is not there, it's going to be hard for us to get to an outcome. You got to be clear on your goals so that we know whether your actions are working or not. We can't measure your actions just by how you feel. It's about where is it getting us. Remember, accuracy over rightness. Number two, Are you focusing on your money skills? These are your 1 to 3 things that you can take into the open marketplace, sans employment, and you can make a full-time revenue from it. If you can't name one, then maybe you don't have any money skills. That's okay if you don't have any, but we got to be clear about where you're at. We're not talking about where you hope to be, where you actually are. Number 3, how are you doing your actions? This matters. The way you do things plays a big role in how other people respond to what you do. And it does matter how people respond to what you do if you're in any form of sales, and all of us are in sales because we're social creatures. You can't make money without serving another person. So if you can't get them to remember you or to cooperate with you because your energy is not in the right place, then your energy is costing you money. So how you do things does matter. So this is why all actions are not created equal. But all that said, text me, tell me the best insight you got from today's class. My number is 305-384-6894. And the other thing for you to do is, as I just said, go to workonyourgameuniversity.com. Those of you who are not clear on your goals, you're not clear why you want to make X this year. You maybe have a number that you thought up randomly when someone asked you how much money you want to make this year. You thought of a number. Fine. Why do you want to make that number? All right, how much more is that number from what you made last year? Where are you going to get the inputs and the resources to multiply what you made last year for what you want to make this year? Because oftentimes people have some multiple of what they made the previous year to what they want to make, double or higher, and that's fine. It's not impossible to double your income, but if we're already 6 to 10 weeks into the new year and you're doing the same stuff now that you were doing last year, how do you expect to double your income? That just doesn't add up. Go to workonyourgameuniversity.com and let me help you help yourself so you can get your business and your life and everything else in between where you want it to be, and you can stop, again, trying to do everything on your own, being too arrogant to admit that you may not have a clear plan. Let's get you a clear plan so that you can actually hit the number instead of just dreaming about it. Again, that's workonyourgameuniversity.com. Work on your game. Dre all day.